This November, voters will be asked to vote on Tacoma Fire Department facilities fleet and operating levy lid lift. The measure would support improvements to the department's facilities, fire engines, essential equipment, and new staffing to improve response capacity and firefighter safety. With us today is Tacoma Fire Department's Interim Chief, Sionna Stallings-Ala'ilima, to talk about the levy. Welcome, Sionna, to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So for those who are unaware, what is the levy lid lift?
So the levy lid lift, the current property tax levy basically has a max amount that the city of Tacoma, a dollar amount per $1,000 of assessed value that the city of Tacoma can collect, and that money goes directly into a general fund. What Proposition 1 is going to do is increase that max by 65 cents, but that additional revenue will go directly into a fund separate from the general fund that will be dedicated to fire department expenses.
And if approved, what kind of resources will the levy provide?
So like you just mentioned, you know, our call volume continues to grow every year, and our investments in you know, our facilities, our fleet, and additional staffing needs just have not kept pace with the growing needs of the community.
So why is it needed now?
Good question. So we recently had an outside consultant do a facilities, you know, a facility
Analysis.
Study. Yep. And 85% of our buildings are at critical or poor condition. And that has to do with some deferred maintenance, but also the average age of our fire stations is 69 years old.
Wow.
There's a station right down here, down the hill in Tacoma on 27th that was built in 1887. So not only are they in need of repair and operational upgrades, but they're undersized. And they were never built with firefighter safety in mind. And so that's one thing that we're going to be looking towards in terms of when we're looking at not only maybe potentially new locations for new deployment areas, but also upgrading these so that we have bigger capacity and we can run more rigs out of the same stations that we already have.
Yeah.
Another thing is that our fire engines and ladders, which were you know a fire apparatus, 60% are at or beyond their current life expectancy.
Wow.
And so they're too often failing to provide the safety and reliability that we need for emergency operations. And it wasn't very long ago that it was about $500,000 for a fire to purchase a fire engine, and you might get it at most in 6 months, but sometimes usually even sooner. Now 1.2 and above is how much an engine costs, and you may wait up to 2 years. So when we've already identified that we need to order some, we won't even see them till the end of 2026 if we were to purchase them now. So those are the types of things that we're looking at. And then we also have some very expensive equipment that's really important, and those are also have very easy to prepare, you know, to plan for timelines of replacement. And so those are the types of things that we're looking at with this levy. And you know, going back to why now?
Yeah.
We are spread thin, and we are at kind of a pivotal spot where we are barely hanging on and being able to respond to every call that we get. But if you look at, you know, the trajectory of the city, and we're by 2050 the population is supposed to increase by 36%. Right now is the time to invest in our infrastructure for what we currently have, but also be thinking ahead, 5 years, 10 years ahead, and watch as new buildings, as we densify, where the need is, and just be able to plan ahead for that time.
So in saying that, what is the multi-year levy lid lift?
Yeah, so you can kind of consider this levy lid lift as a 6-year term, and what that kind of means is that it's designed so as the market fluctuates, that for 6 years, we will be able to collect the full 65 cents per $1,000 of assessed value. And so that would allow us, again, for at least 6 years, to say, this is how much we anticipate bringing in. We are going to start budgeting and setting timelines for this, of what we're going to order in that period, because we know that that's going to come in.
Looking into that. So what happens if the levy doesn't pass?
You know, so if it doesn't pass, our number one priority is always providing the best services that we can to this community, and we will continue to do that. We, again, like I said, we are stretched thin. And so what that looks like, if the levy doesn't pass, we are still going to respond to emergencies. We will still be here. what that looks like, we may have to think outside of the box a little bit, just to keep up with the current call volume as it increases.
So what would the average cost be for an average homeowner?
Yeah, so an average homeowner would see an increase of around $25 per month if this were to be passed by the voters, and that it'll bring in collectively about $30 million to the fire department annually.
Okay, and where could a resident find out more information?
Yeah, so we have a dedicated website set up, tacomafiredepartment.org/fire levy, and it has a lot of frequently asked questions. It has other informational things as well. We have a open house on October. We're going to have some open houses on October 19th at 6 different stations, 1 in each district.
Awesome.
And then, and that you can come, you can do station tours. We're going to have some fire prevention stuff there. We'll have our rigs, equipment, and we'll have some firefighters you can talk to, including some of our teams like Hope Team, CARES. We'll be at a few of those just to answer any questions that the community has. Excellent.
Well, Sionna, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and all of the work that you and the Tacoma Fire Department is doing to keep our citizens healthy and safe. We appreciate it very much.